And it is now with great honor and pleasure I would like to invite one of my closest friends up to the stage to give yet another speech. You might have to sit through another one. Sorry about that. A good friend of mine, Jack Walsh.
Good evening, everyone. Friends, family, teachers, staff in the class of 2025. We have made it. Today we participate in a tradition that started in Boston way back in 1854, our country's first high school graduation ceremony, and presumably our country's first high school graduation speech. With speeches happening every year since then, that adds up to a lot of speeches. Some might say it's a countless number of speeches, but as the founder of our school's math club, I did the math and estimated that over these last 171 years, there have been roughly 4 million high school graduation speeches. And according to my research, out of those 4 million, the total number of speeches that left a lasting impression, that were remembered by the audience long after they were delivered, is approximately 0. So, while I hope to leave you with a lasting memory today, the odds are not exactly in my favor. On the bright side, if I screw up, you probably won't remember that either. Regardless of the odds, I don't know that I have much wisdom to share with you today, considering I'm 18 and I technically don't even have my high school diploma yet. But I would like to take a few minutes to reflect on what we've been part of here. Something rare, something powerful, and something I believe deeply important. In a world obsessed with more students, more testing, more money, more efficiency, Discovery High School did something different. We went with less. And I mean that in the best possible sense. We were intentional. We chose a different path. At a time when bigger is better and faster is smarter, Discovery slowed down, zoomed in, and built something unique. Smaller class sizes gave us more than just better teacher-to-student ratios. They gave us connection. They gave us teachers who knew us, not just our names, but our stories, our passions, and our quirks. They gave us classmates who became collaborators, competitors, and close friends. And they gave us opportunities. We didn't wait around for someone else to start a club. We just started our own. Disco sales, art club, architecture club, just to name a few. When something was missing, we filled the gap. When someone had an idea, there was a room to run with it. We didn't just attend Discovery, we shaped it. And for a school with just 200 students and only 40 in this graduating class, I'd say we've punched well above our weight. We've built things, led things, won things, and changed things. This place may be small, but the impact has been mighty. I understand the Discovery model isn't the most efficient and it's not the easiest to fund. It's often first on the chopping block when budgets get tight and we start looking at spreadsheets instead of students. There are dollars to be saved and efficiencies to be gained, sure, but I'd ask us all, especially the grown-ups in the room, to pause and ask, at what cost? What's lost when you trade community for scale? What disappears when every student becomes one of hundreds? What happens when what works is replaced with what's cheaper? A few weeks ago, my dad was talking to his friend who just moved from Portland back to his hometown on the Oregon coast. In his career, he's worked for large organizations in big cities and previously worked for a member of Congress. But now that he's back in his hometown of 3,500 people, his perspective has shifted. The treasurer of the high school booster club is more important to him now than any member of Congress. Congress isn't doing much these days anyway, he said, but if we lose Becky from the boosters, we're screwed. Sounds like a joke, but he was not kidding, because Becky shows up. Becky organizes the annual spaghetti feed. Becky knows every kid's name. Becky makes a difference. And in a small, tight-knit community, every person counts. That's what we had at Discovery. That's what made this place magic. So as we go off into a world that will tell us to go big or go home, I want to challenge you to remember the power of small. Remember how good it felt to be known, to be trusted, to matter. Seek that out and create it wherever you go. Whether you're in a massive university, crowded workplace, or even your own future neighborhood, don't underestimate the impact you can make in any setting. Because what we've learned here is that change doesn't always come from the top. It comes from people who care, people who connect, and people who take the time to build something real, even if it's not the most efficient, and especially when it's not the biggest. At Discovery, as Discovery kids, we know this firsthand, because this is the place where we had the opportunities to discover what really matters. Class of 2025, let's take this lesson with us. Let's build communities, not just careers. Let's make an impact, not just a name. Years from now, you probably won't remember this speech, but I hope you do remember that small can be mighty. Thank you and congratulations.